Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Avini Vibes. Very excited and happy to be here this holiday season. Wow, next week, a week from tonight, will be Christmas. Goes fast, doesn't it? The year flew by as time does, but I just want to thank you for taking the time to be here. If you're a guest, special guest, I want you to know somebody thought a lot about you to invite you to this call. So really listen in, and they respect you and they think that you're a very special person. That's why you're here on this call as many of you that familiar faces. Welcome. I do want to thank Carol Wick always to help out. She's always there, techie helping. Couldn't do it without her. And Chip, I don't see yet, but maybe he'll be on with us in a little bit. Dr. Nikita's on a little bit of a sabbatical. She usually joins us as well. But again, thanks for being here. We got the most amazing product, amazing leadership, and really, really great company. Really about changing people's lives. Eddie always says we're not a supplemental company. We take out the bad and we make way for the good, right, Ed? And we're glad, Ed, that you're back with us today. We know you underwent a little bit of a day yesterday, but you were in all of our prayers, and we're glad to see your smiley face and you're back
Thank you.
home. And we're going to give
Thank you.
Eddie's going to talk about the products, but tonight, before we get started, I just want to remind you, we do not make any medical claims. We do not diagnose or treat. We're here for educational purposes to share about the tip of the spear and just, again, the most amazing products. Diamond calls, don't forget, on Wednesday nights. They're great, great, great calls, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And just so you know, one of my favorite calls as I went back through the years, they're all great, but I love that November 20th call that we did all together. We did that November 20th. It was from the field. So it was all about you. So I just want to, I'll probably say this again at the end. Carol, maybe you can remind me. But I think when we come back, because we'll be off for 2 weeks, January 8th, I think we're going to come into the new year with the field again. All right. So just keep that in mind because we want to hear from you. Tonight, we're very grateful to have before I even introduce them, I want to show you something that I got in the mail today. So I got this little thing in the mail, and it looks like it's a genie bottle. So you rub it, and all your wishes come true. So this came all the way from Joe, our guest speaker today, and he told me when I got home I was going to have a surprise, and there it was. And my wish is for prosperity and health for each and every one of you. Joe Gersanik, his earlier corporate career was the marketing manager for Joe, was that 1.5 billion per year division of 7-Eleven?
Half, half, half
Wow,
billion,
half billion,
one half
half
billion. Yep.
Half billion, wow. Per year division of 7-Eleven. He was on the team that developed the Big Gulp. Many of us tease and we call him the Big Gulp. Personally originated 7-Eleven Day, I remember that. And he introduced many of 7-Eleven's products that you probably know and remember. He has been in network marketing and networking for over 30 years. His goal is for you and your guests to understand the power of network marketing and residual income from your efforts. Why Avini is poised is one of the questions he's thinking about, is like, or we need to think about, why is Avini poised for tremendous growth to benefits of these products and the transparency of everything that this company has to offer. With that, Joe, come on down and I'm going to give you the floor. Okay. Thanks for being here, Joe.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Christine. Your lamp came directly from Casablanca. So it was carried from Casablanca to all the way to the Canary Islands, all the way to Madrid, and all the way home to the post office. So I thought you would get a big kick out of that and make all your wishes come true. All of them. So that was my wish to you for Christmas and forever. Uh, you guys had some of you have already had a chance to me a little bit, and Christine did a great job of introducing me. What I like to talk about is understanding a little bit more about network marketing and running parallels with what we have in the classical business industry, so you can understand why we're poised to absolutely explode. The first part is when I was first introduced to network marketing companies, It was one company, and it was the company that Rick talks about all the time. Uh, Rexall Showcase, that Neil talks about, Mickey talks about, and I had the privilege of working with them. And when we talk about long-term consumption and long-term residual, you hear many people saying that I've been taking Cell Defender for 10 years, maybe somebody a little bit longer than that. Uh, I've been taking the Avini fiber or its earlier version since 1992. So if you think about how long I've been taking that product, and my cholesterol panels, my blood sugar panels are all extraordinary. So I've been taking that product for 30 years plus. And what I saw intriguingly when I was presented the concept of network marketing, and I compared it to regular business. And why that's a point that sometimes is missed is when Rexall started out, Rexall Sundown was the largest vitamin manufacturer in the United States. It owned Metrex, it owned GNC, and consequently, it was in most of the major grocery stores and drugstores in the eastern part of the United States, especially in Florida. But they found a product, the earlier versions of Avini fiber, that they knew would not work if they were going to go through a classical distribution channel. And the reason being is it looked like Metamucil, but it was going to retail for $29.95. So you have Metamucil on the shelf. You have the product was called BioSlife on the other one, and Metamucil is $4.95. BioSlife is $29.95. Why would somebody pick it up? There would have to be absolutely massive, unbelievable amounts of advertising, promotionals, giveaways, etc. And how many millions of dollars would be spent trying to have that heavy lift accomplished that the product was worth it? But when somebody came back and said to their friend, my blood sugar went down, and the person had blood sugar problems, or if somebody said, my cholesterol went down, how did you do it? I'm taking on a lipid drug and I'm ending up having cramps. Uh, and so that word of mouth is so powerful that we really don't understand it, because when we think of network marketing companies, it's somebody who has a genius idea but doesn't have any way of getting it to market. But we have the realization that in some cases it's the best way to go to market. And that history and that experience of understanding that dynamic is in Neil's leadership and in, of course, Rick's product line. So I was extremely excited about that company. They went through some hiccups, and I've been on a search for the last 15 to 20 years to find a company that hit all these same marks that I had with my first company. And as many people have experienced, uh, I learned all the bad stuff about network marketing. Everything that could go wrong went wrong with companies. Uh, I had a whole bunch of people in Mexico with the company. Then I found out we were not licensed to do business in Mexico. What? Then they asked me to do the licensing product for them in Mexico instead of having their lawyers do it. That was one of the things exploded on me, among others. So when I saw that Neil and Rick had got together through my sponsor, Kyle, and we're starting up a company, it was a wish that that little genie in the lamp, you know, if that was my wish, that would have been it. Put all these pieces together. And then on top of it, Neil experienced it and walked the walk and talked the talk, and he knew where all the gotchas were. And so when he systematically went through every gotcha that you've ever seen in network marketing, this is miraculous. Now, I'm older than most people on this call, but my concern of understanding how life is with the correct products, because by the way, the fiber product wasn't available for quite a few years. So I had to try to find it from people and bought it from bad sources. I understand it from Rick. I was not buying the real thing anymore for probably at least 5 to 10 years. I said, I got to grab this thing. I got to grab it. Because if I don't grab it with what I know happened previously, I regret it for the rest of my life. It's like that stock tip that somebody told me back when Apple was 100 before it split 5 times. And I looked at it and I had a preconceived notion, nah, that's blah, 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 blah. It's not going to go there. Let me have you tell me the answer. Do you think I regret not investing in Apple at that price? Duh, duh. I can see where we're going. I can see where we're going. And if I didn't invest some time balancing out my life and where I go and what I do into Avini, I would regret it for the rest of my life because all the pieces systematically, bing to bing to bing to bing to bing are there. And we're starting the right way. That's one of the other things that's of concern to people. A lot of companies take shortcuts. They bring some people over and they pay them some money, guarantee an income to them. They don't really build a business, but they take a team over, and then the company rises up, and then the company rises down because they go to the next one. Neil won't do that. Neil won't do that. Neil won't cut corners. He'll do everything step by step by step, all the way through to make sure it works correctly. And that's the message. That's the message that you have to feel and hear when you talk to people. The other thing, and Carol, I'm afraid that I can do it right this time. I just wanted to put a couple of slides up to show you the power of networking, what ends up happening and where we are and what we're doing. Because if you remember, we're talking about the power of three. Three people talking to three people makes it nine people. Nine people talking to three people makes it 27. And that multiplicative factor begins to play after 3 to 5 years, where it's going from 658 to 2000. Then when it goes from 2000, it goes to 6,000. That's what's in front of us. That's what is in front of us. And it's not an if, it's not a maybe, it's a real. It's a real. And we always hear the commentary that facts tell, stories sell. But when you have a story based upon real facts, you got one heck of a story. And it's been hinted at and it's talked about, but I just wanted you to share it because I walked it. I saw it. I saw the growth. I saw things I never thought would possibly happen for myself and people who I work with. And that's the cusp of where we are today. It's going to start really happening next year. Next year is the year that we're going to start compounding because when we have that larger and larger base, the compounding factor begins to create growth. And when people see that there's a lack of gotchas, then you'll start to see us move and move and move. Now we're in the holiday season. In the holiday season, some people say, well, do we take off? What do we do? This is the time when you actually bump into people. And if it's somebody who you haven't bumped into in quite a while, what do you think's the first thing they're going to ask you? Hey, what have you been doing? Duh. What have you been doing? Well, I used to have pains in my back, and I don't have pains in my back anymore. I used to have, trouble with my cholesterol. I used to have trouble walking, and I don't have that anymore. And they go, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to say, well, how? Why? At which point, it depends on the person. You can either say, well, I found a company that I was so enthused about that I'm actually doing some work myself with the company, sharing it with people. Or you could say to the person, if you want to take it away a little bit, you could say to them, it's Christmas. I can call you back later with the person who has the pain in the back. What do you think the person who has the pain in the back is going to do?
Wait a minute.
Give me it.
Wait a second. You said something about back pain going away. You said something about blood sugar going down as I'm eating sugar cookies and everything else during the season, and the doctor's going to kill me in January. Well, so a little bit of action and interaction with people to understand that one. Ed, I don't want to step on your time. Carol, if you could see if you could share it with me, and I'll see if I pull this thing up so I can show
You
the
are
growth.
ready to go, Joe. Go for it.
Okay, let's see if I can do it this time. The last time I didn't, and this time I got it. And there
Make sure you check sound so we can hear it if you got a voice.
No, I don't have a voice.
Okay. Okay, got
It'll
it.
just be my voice. This
Okay.
is the projection. This is the projection. So we talk about threes. Well, 3 times 3 people equals 9. Is that exciting? Yeah, it's a little bit exciting because all of a sudden there's more than you. But when those 9 find 3, it's 27. And now you're beginning to have a little bit of a business. And our structure is such that you can still have profitability and still have a business at a low rate and at least pay for your own product and have a little bit extra on your side. So in between that range and between the next jump from 3 times 27 equals 81, you're probably getting enough money to pay for your own product on a regular basis. And if people are getting enough money to pay for their own product, they're never going to stop using it. It's only when they get pinched. But then when we go from 81 to 243, then 243 goes to 729. 729 goes to 2,187. Then it gets unbelievable. But I've seen it happen. It goes up to 65, and then it goes up even higher as that multiplicative factor continues to grow. Now, what does that translate into? Well, that translates into the amount of dollars that you could potentially get. So if you're talking about the multiple volume and the growth potential, this one, if you can see the screens, our average customer and distributor are spending about $180. $180. And so if you take 1% of that big number that we talked about when we're up in the 2 to 7,000 range and multiply that as 1% of that number, look at what the dollars attribute to. Look at that. Now, when I said facts tell, stories sell, here's the facts behind the story that's alluded to very often. This is the actual growth curve of Rexall Showcase International. I used to put that up at every meeting I would do. And I would go to people when we were at 10 million, I would say our growth factor and our compounding factor is going to bring us all the way up to 20 million plus the next year. And I showed it. And the next year I said that. And the next year I said that. And we went all the way through it. So where are we today? And why there is a call to action for you to go out there and do things, to reach out, do the connect calls, make sure that you're thinking of everybody because we're sitting here. This growth factor is what's known as the curve of prosperity. Every company starts in the small end of it, obviously. You do 0 1, you have 0 sales, then it starts to go very slowly. And the challenge is that most network marketing companies fail after their first 3 years because they're not capitalized correctly. They don't have management. They don't have sales teams. They don't have training and learning materials. But then as soon as they hit that level, after about 3 years, they start to go up. But as that number compounds on itself, that growth starts to escalate significantly. So ask yourself, do you want to be on the left-hand side of the chart, or do you want to be on the right-hand side of the chart when there's already hundreds of thousands of people?
Man.
Eddie, I was too long the last time, but I'm at exactly 15 minutes. And I am happy to say I put it on 78 for those of us in this age group that know what 78 means. And I think I got through it.
Hey, Joe. So
Yes.
you're just to recap, you're saying we're in the right place at the right time. Yes.
To coin a phrase. To coin a phrase.
He's also saying, don't quit.
Don't
Amen.
quit.
No,
Don't,
that's the only way you
don't
can go
quit.
wrong if you give up.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the only other way this can go wrong is you don't start.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much, Joe. Appreciate it. And I see we have a brand new person on tonight, Coach Brooke. Welcome. Coach Brooke is brand new, and welcome, Coach Brooke. You went to the corporate event last night and got to meet Neil and Rick and everybody.
Everyone.
So
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Yeah, happy to be here. It was really great to meet everybody last night at the event, and it was both informative and a great opportunity for networking. Happy to be here.
Well, welcome
Great.
to the team, okay?
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, now you're going to meet Eddie Kowalski, EQ as I call him. Eddie, would you mind coming on down and talk a little bit about our products, why they're so
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Joe, thank you for my genie in a bottle. I got it. I don't know what it was. I was like, what a cool guy, man. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, buddy. Yeah. So I'm gonna hit the products and like what we talk about. Every every bit of money that we make is based on a story, and the story comes from the products that we have, and they're the best in the world. You can't touch them anywhere in the world. Rick Deitch is the greatest biochemist alive, and all of our products are manufactured right here in Boca, where I live 15 minutes away from. And it's such a blessing. Manufactured, shipped from there, 33,000 square foot headquarters. Starting, I'm going to get right into it. First is Coach Brooke. Welcome. What do you coach, by the way? Coach.
Aviniites.
That's awesome. Um, we'll talk. I'm a baseball player by nature, but anyway, first thing, Cell Defender. That is the tip of the spear for us. The Cell Defender is a product that is formulated from zeolite. Zeolite is something that happens over the last 50, 100,000 years when a volcano erupts. It has a lot, the lava and the ash get into salt water. When that happens, it forms what's called basically nature's filter, little cages. These cages are one of only a few negatively charged minerals in the world. And Rick Deitch was able to look at that and say, wait a minute, all right, these things are sucking in toxins from everywhere. What if I could crush these things down, make them tiny enough, and clean these little cages out and make them open enough like an empty sponge and put these in the human body to basically take out the toxins in our body? Heavy metals primarily is what the zeolite does. Rick named ours detoxolite. And this product, it took him 7 years to crush this thing down to less than the size of a micron. You can't even imagine what that is, because if you try to take a piece of talcum powder, that would be big compared to a micron. And then he cleaned it. So it's clean, it's crushed, and it goes in the body. It goes in the body and it looks for heavy metals, cadmium, aluminum, arsenic, lead, mercury. All these things that are running around the body are positively charged. They seek out one another, basically, and they're attracted to one another. Then they're sucked into these cages. So one drop of our zeolite, clinoptilolite, detoxolite, is 200,000 cages. So you picture 10 drops is 2 million cages going in your body to clean your body of heavy metals. Heavy metals and environmental toxins from the World Health Organization are 99% of all disease comes from those two things. The second product that I'm going to talk about is nano silver. Nano silver is our spherical silver. It's one of a kind, and it's a little ball, 0.999949s of silver, pure silver, surrounded by silver and oxygen. And it's unique to the world. You have colloidal silver too big, ionic silver too small. It hurts the immune system. Colloidal is too big. It goes in the body, and this is what takes care of. This is why it's a 1-2 punch. The heavy metals are dead. The nano silver goes in and kills the live critters, the things that are alive in the body, the bacteria, the yeast, the mold, parasites, any viruses. It goes in. It's like raid to a roach. It kills them on contact. And an analogy that I use sometimes is, I'll bring that up in a minute when I talk about the Z-immunity mushrooms. But there was a little slide that I saw one time where there was bacteria running around the body, and they got the white blood cells. They're kind of moving around trying to grab the bacteria. And nano was introduced into the bloodstream, into the blood on the slide. And it went and it illuminates the bad guys. It lights them up. And this white blood cell was sitting right next to a piece of bacteria, and all of a sudden it lit up from the nano and went and got it. So that's how powerful this nano is. Buddy Kyle Helm, who Joe talked about, brought me in the business. His daughter came in one day, 17 years old. Dad, I got this thing on my leg. What is it? Long story short, he said, you got ringworm. What? I have a parasite in my body. Yeah, you do. She was getting ready to go to school. He said, go get the nano silver. Sprayed it in her mouth and on the little ring on her leg. Came back from school. It was half gone. The next day it was completely gone. So it attacked it from the outside and the inside. So you spray the nano in your mouth, every orifice, your ears, your eyes, and it takes care of all those critters that are in your body. Introducing the Z-immunity mushrooms. Z-immunity mushrooms this is an awesome product. It's 7 organically grown medicinal non-GMO mushrooms that have to fight to live. and they're all over the world, and they're the best in the world, and they got to literally fight to survive. They're fighting the weather, they're fighting predators, they're fighting the climate, water, wind, rain, you name it, and they got to live, and they're fighting to get to the sunshine. So again, how brilliant is Rick? He says, hey, if we can get these guys in our body, and they're like walkie-talkies, they go floating around and they're talking to one another to find the bad guys, to find the bad cells that are hiding in tissues. They go and find them. So the analogy I was going to make earlier is like you got the mushrooms, they're going around talking to one another. It's like it's a 7-man army, a 7 mushroom army in our body, and they're looking. I mean, we have the best army in the world, man. I mean, so the mushrooms are running around looking, all right, and then what happens is they flush out the bad guys, and I always picture it like you're in a war, and the bad guys are in a tank, and the mushrooms flush them out, and the nano's standing there waiting for them, and it just goes and crushes them. So these 3 products are so. I mean, these are the first 3 I started with. Christine and I are coming up on our 3-year anniversary, January 13th, 14th, something like that.
Yeah.
So these 3 incredibly powerful. The zeolite is also in the mushrooms, so it also goes and takes out the heavy metals in the body. Now, plus fiber is for the gut. The gut is our second brain, and if that's not healthy, you're not good. It's your brain, your gut. And so when the fiber goes into the body, it goes in and it starts working on the colon, the small intestines, and it reduces with the risk of cardiovascular issues. It's also got the zeolite in it. It's a coarser version of the zeolite. So when it goes in, it's got to be a little bit more, you got salt that's fine salt, and you got salt that coarse, like Celtic salt, right? So it's kind of like, picture it like that, goes in there, starts scraping, and it scrapes out the heavy metals, which are then flushed out through the urine, just like all the metals, they're flushed out through the urine, and it also aids in weight loss. This stuff is so incredible for blood sugar too. Like Joe's an expert on that. And this fiber lowers blood sugar. I could tell some stories about some guys that had, if you want to equate blood sugar to a certain disease, you might know what I'm talking about. A buddy of mine in 7 weeks got his numbers right. The doctor said, throw away that all the meds that I gave you, throw them away. You don't need them anymore. 7 weeks. And it was a serious situation for him. All right, let me see. I'm doing the best I can, Christine. She's got me on
Take your
time.
time. You're doing great. You're doing great.
All right. Jojo laughing at me. Plus Balance. Now, Plus Balance is fairly new. Plus Balance is for balancing the hormones. And that's for men and women. And ladies will like this. Guys like it too. I mean, it gives you a fuller, healthier head of hair. I don't even know what supple means, but I'm sure all the ladies do. It makes you like Carol's. Look at Carol's skin. Everybody's skin on here is so good. Supple skin. It gives you stronger nails. And the cool thing about it is it also supports healthy liver function. That's big. Anytime you got something that helps with the liver, that's huge. And the other things that it does as well. As a matter of fact, I just ordered some more for my wife today. We were just about running out of it. Then we get to the Plus Motion. Speaking of my wife, Plus Motion, it's a newer product too. It really helps with cartilage, and cartilage dissipates over the years, but this not only helps with rebuilding cartilage, but I think Rick said at conference it is one of the only, if not the only, product in the world that helps with tendons.
Yep.
I don't think there's right. I think he did mention that.
Yep.
So it increases cartilage production and joints and arthritic type conditions and things like that. My wife had a problem with her leg. I had to ask her again tonight. I couldn't remember what had happened, and she was on the verge of going and getting a bone density test, and she was waking up every day in pain. And that came out. We got it, and she just did it consistently for 2 weeks, and she still takes it, and it was completely gone. And Rick Deitch, he took his 10 days before he released it to the public because he had gotten in a motorcycle accident with his kid. A lot of you heard the story. Rick was peeling out in gravel, and he had his kid on the back, and the bike came out from underneath of him, and Rick went down on his shoulder, and that was 15 years ago. And he was trying to protect his kid, and he busted his shoulder up. And he showed on video, he took it 10 days prior to releasing it to the public, and he said he could never do a windmill. He could never go above there. And 10 days on the product, he was able to do a windmill, first time in 15 years. And that stuff is incredible. And I had some bad knees, not bad knees, but achy knees from playing baseball for so long, and that helps with my knees. So does the Plus Relief, which is next. This product right here is so special. It comes from, the main ingredient is Asian cobra venom, and Rick Deitch actually leases a cobra farm, and it's 1/10,000th concentration of Asian cobra venom in this. So it can't hurt you. It's homeopathic, and it's 600 times more powerful than morphine. And it comes in 3 applications. And I forgot to tell you real quick about the nano silver. I'm going to get back to that about Carol, the story about that with Carol before I finish. But the Plus Relief, you can put it on a roll with a roll on. The gel, I like the gel, or you can spray it in your mouth. Pretty much the roll on and the gel is immediate. I mean, within minutes, and you forget the pain was even there. And the cool thing about the Plus Relief is that, typical pain medications, you get addicted to them because you have to keep taking more and more and more. And with this, the more you put it on, the less you have to take. And the frequency of the pain gets extended. In other words, it's less pain for now. It might be a month that you get the pain again. Maybe it's 3 months. Then after that, it continues to just make the pain less frequent. And the more you put it on. And we have over 1,000 veterans, I believe the number is now, that have gotten off opiates by using this natural homeopathic stuff. It has no smell. It's not like a Bengay that you can't stand the smell, and it's not medicinal in any way. That stuff is amazing. And I'm serious. Sometimes it's a minute, maybe 20, the application. Now the spray goes in and it goes and finds pain everywhere in the body. It's more generalized, takes a little longer, but you can spray it on or put it in internally. All right. How am I doing so far, Christine?
Oh, you're doing great, Eddie.
My partner in crime. Plus mind and vision, it is what it is. It helps with the brain and the eyes, enhances brain and nervous system function, mental clarity, visual focus, and night vision. This stuff, I think I know there's one ingredient in here that the British pilots used during one of the wars. And they were flying these long missions, and their night vision was starting to get blurry.
Bilberry.
The bilberry
Bilberry.
extract.
That's right, bilberry extract. And you have that in other things, but you got some ingredients along with that in here that are very special as well. So these guys are hitting targets. I mean, when they were flying these long missions. So plus mind and vision, because the mind and the eyes are tied so close. I think they're the closest tied organs in the body, Joe. I think that's right. Plus cardio care, something that I had to use. I had a hiccup, and during my first hernia surgery a month or 2 ago, where I had a glitch when I was under, and they thought I had a heart issue. It raced to 200 beats a minute for 4 seconds. Could have been really bad, but it ended up being a glitch. I think I've met every cardiologist in Boca, and they all said, your heart's perfect. It's fine. It's perfect. And the last one was my second hernia surgery was yesterday. The last cardiologist that had to approve me for the surgery came back, and I was kind of like, oh man, I hope this is good. And she said, it's absolutely perfect. They did an EKG. So my heart's perfect. My blood work came back all perfect. And that is because of Avini. It is because of Avini. It's our security blanket, guys. I mean, 3 years in this, taking this, like Joe's been taking forever. You can't go wrong. You have to have it because it's cleaning your body. You got to clean your body every day because you take in 3 to 5 or 5 to 10 times more toxins every day that you can get out of your body because you can't do it with anything else. Like I told Christine, we talk about this all the time. Anybody that says, oh, I take vitamin A, E, I, O, U, you can tell me every vitamin you take, selenium, zinc, mushroom tea, it doesn't matter because you're not taking out the bad stuff to make that stuff do its job and help it do its job. So you got to clean. You got to constantly clean, and you'll feel so much better with your clarity. First time, Christine, I signed her up. First time, she called me a week later, and she was like, does this stuff have speed in? And I'm vacuuming. It's 11 o'clock at night. I was like, I don't think so.
Well, that's one of the things that you hear often, right? When people in the beginning, when they start to clean the body, their energy level goes up.
It's like, boom. Yeah.
It's great to see.
Yeah. And then plus energy, that goes and tie that to Christine too. It's not a crash. It's our natural homeopathic energy. Because I remember she told the story about playing the tennis coach at West Point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. And I think he said that you were hitting the ball better and harder than you had in a long time. And the Plus Energy, it's orange flavor. And it's like Rick always says, people ask him, what's it flavored from? He said, an orange. No, really, what's it come from? An orange. That's the flavor. It's an orange. All right, a little bit more. Trim Science, we got chocolate, we have coffee flavor, we have matcha, and we have lemonade. The coffee and the chocolate have zeolite in it. So you also have the zeolite in the coffee. And it is what it is. It's got fat blockers and fat burners. So it thermogenically heats the body up. And when the body gets heated up, then it starts burning some fat. And then what happens? Well, those metals and those toxins that are hidden in the tissues where the fat and the fat tissues and fat, well, they get flushed out. Well, guess who's waiting for them? The army, right? They're ready to grab them and get them out of the body. And you lose your weight. The one that I love and a lot of people love is the meal replacement. It's literally it's a chocolate tub, and it's they have vanilla too. Rick has just made the vanilla, and here's what's so cool about this stuff. I mean, you can do it. You can do it. Replace one meal a day. You can even replace two if you want to. Like I typically do breakfast, sometimes lunch. If I'm lazy and I don't want to make anything to eat, I'll just do one. 22 essential nutrients and 21 grams of protein, and it'll keep you moving for a while. I mean, for me, it's a few hours, and it absolutely. I got a text from a lady tonight in Texas. She just got hers today, and it is delicious. Some of the people are just getting it because it tastes so good. It's like a chocolate milkshake, and I just mix mine with water. But a lot of people losing good bits of weight, chunks of weight with the meal replacement. You're just replacing a meal a day, and you're getting the protein. And not last, but Plus Hydration. I'll just say this. You put a scoop of Plus Hydration. It tastes good. It's like a really pleasant flavor. Put it in a bottle of water, and it's like drinking 3 bottles of water. It goes into your tissues, and you just get a boom, right? Rick Deitch got like some sort of he got some sort of food poisoning, and he had to go on stage the next day, and the Plus Hydration kind of saved him, and they enabled him to get up on stage because his body just got so hydrated so quickly and naturally. The only other thing to cover is pets. We got pet products, Cell Defender for pets. I think they're in these little biscuits. I don't have a pet, but I got to tell you one last quick thing. Doc Carter, really funny guy. I call him my hillbilly in Kentucky. Went and he goes to like the shelters and finds the sickest dog they got, and he just takes them home or gives them to somebody, and he gives them some Cell Defender for pets. And he called me about 2 weeks later. He's got a really funny country wisdom kind of. Christine knows he's hilarious. He called me. He said, Eddie, he says, very thick accent. He said, man, that Plus or that Cell Defender for dogs. He said, this dog got a hold of it, and he was real lethargic, barely moving around. And he took some of them biscuits, and he said, and it nearly killed him. And I said, well, what are you talking about? He said, the dog started running around so much out in the front yard, he almost ran in front of a car and got killed by the car. and he did tell me that story, and it's a true story. Other than that, Christine, I think
I want to jump
Carol.
in. I just want to
Yeah.
jump in a minute on that. We got rid of the biscuits. Okay, no more biscuits. It's a
Oh,
gel
they're
now.
not.
No, we got rid of those. Yeah, Rick
I
told
didn't know
me I
that.
had them on display, and when he came up to the conference, he goes, "Throw those out. We're not using those because it was just a way they formulated. They didn't particularly like it, but the new is a gel and Cell Defender. And I have a quick story. A friend of mine owns a 16-year-old. She and I, the dog and I, have the same birthday, December 10th, and she was he went off to the White Stallion Ranch last week, and he goes every year. He goes away, and Lily stayed home, and a dog babysitter, and the babysitter called me and said, please come over, Lily's not doing good. And I went over there, and we used the Cell Defender and the Plus Relief. Her hips were almost, couldn't even get up, and he called me. She's doing like a new dog, I'm telling you. So I'm a big believer. I use it on all the animals, pets, ducks, any kind of animal benefits from that. So go ahead, Eddie. You had another comment.
Just want to finish up with Carol's story. Carol's so bold. We the first conference I went to was in Dallas, and Carol was experimenting for a few months with that when I was talking about the nano. I don't know if it was the gel was out at the time or she was using the spray, but either way, she used the nano. It was a spray. So she used it on one arm. And she's got beautiful skin, but I guess maybe just brown, just like little freckles, right? Something like that. Brown spots. Okay, they were brown spots. And so we're sitting at lunch, and she did one arm, and she said, "Look at my arms," and it was amazing. I mean, there was no brown spots on one arm, and she still had them on the other arm. And I said, "That's pretty bold." She's a walking advertisement. One arm's got freckles, and one arm doesn't. And it's so
And
cool
it's
that you
still
did that.
that way. I haven't been able to match them yet.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so that's all I got, guys. But we got the best stuff in the world, and you just got to protect your body. You gotta flush out the bad stuff. So, like Christine said, make way for the good.
Thank you, Ed. Really appreciate it. Joe, we're going to let you close out. We're just about at the time. So, Joe, you have words of wisdom to leave us with? You're muted. Don't shake your head no. I know you have something to say.
Yeah, I forgot you muted me. You said it, Carol. We are in the right place at the right time.
Amen.
Amen.
Simple put.
We are.
Amen.
Well, with that, I want to welcome Brooke, a newbie. We got some new people joining us every day. Keep going out. Listen, it's the holiday. I love the advice that was given, Shu gave before we went live. You know, there's people everywhere, people that need this, people that are praying for
Yep.
this, people that are in pain, people that are just asking for some relief, whether financially, community, something in their life that this is brings a community together. And we're very, very fortunate. And there's, you know, sometimes we have as many as 68, 70 people on here. Tonight we have a small crowd, but the right people are here tonight. And I just want to tell you all, it's been a beautiful year together. We're going to go into the next new year. We'll be back on the 8th of January and not until. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, blessings for your holiday season with your family. And we'll see you all in the new year. And get your tickets for conference, okay? Because the price goes up at the end of the year. God bless you. Thank you.
Happy
Thank you, Carol.
solstice.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
Bye.
Holidays, everybody.
Happy,
Merry
happy.
Christmas.
Been
I
really
just want to
real,
make
everybody.
I just want to make one
Thank
comment.
you.
Shoo, at some point, the way your chair was aligned, your light in the ceiling looked like a halo around your head. I saw it several times.
That
And
would
I
be
just
me.
want-
That would be
That's
Shu.
me.
And I
Yep.
just want to tell you, you are precious and priceless. And I'm
24/7.
I'm thankful for what you
24/7.
did in the service. And I'm just glad you got some good going for you now. You're a real
Hugs
big
and
blessing.
kisses, girls. Love y'all.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Thank
Love
you.